Welcome to Sun City News. I'm your host, Norma Taylor, and here are some of the stories we're featuring for this week's show. Georgia Lash has news from the quarterly board meeting. Kathy Salkowitz attended the Ballroom Club's Jersey Boys party. And later in the program, we have part 2 of our interview with Brock Meeks. Sun City News starts now.
This is Sun City News. With our news team bringing you stories from Sun City and the Low Country. Taking the lead with entertainment news. And on deck is our sports report. Sun City News, from people you know, about people you know. This week's SCTV News starts now.
A new, very welcome addition to Sun City was announced at the quarterly board meeting. Take a listen.
The Sun City Board of Directors is holding its quarterly meeting. This is an ideal way to get updates on the current status of our community. Sun City TV has been invited to share with you key presentations from this session.
In 2022, the board deeded a plot of land to the Beaufort County, and the land, in case you, how many people don't know where the proposed station's gonna be? You all know? Okay. Sun City Boulevard, if you're coming from Red Dam toward the front gate, you see the pickleball courts, horseshoe, it's right between there and the gardens.
And this is going to be a fantastic project. As you can see, we've got the rendering behind us, and it's going to be a beautiful design that has already gone through approval with the HOA board. This is a $5 million project that is being funded by the 2017 GO bond that council has approved. We are currently under contract with Fraser Construction. We're in the design process, and they're going to go into a little more about their schedule and how long that's going to take.
Currently, as things are progressing, it appears that we will be through permitting and design activities by the end of this year. Work with Beaufort County on finalized pricing and move into construction the beginning of January, or sometime in January of 2026. The duration of the actual construction should be somewhere between probably 8 and 9 months.
The way the staffing will be for the station is it'll be fully staffed with a fire engine with a minimal staffing of 3 trained fire personnel. On full staffing, you'll have 4 trained fire personnel on the actual fire apparatus. On the ambulance, the plan is to have an ambulance with 2 personnel that has capability of advanced life support response, just like you're getting out of the current station. Some questions are, is this going to be dedicated to Sun City as a whole? Its primary response will be dedicated to Sun City. However, it will operate as a backup to the district as needed. But we always backfill those areas, whether it's through mutual aid with our partners over in Jasper or Hardyville Fire, or sometimes we have to go as far as Hilton Head and Beaufort on major incidents. The fire district and EMS are both full-time, not combination, not volunteer, but full-time staffing, which is 24/7, 365 days a year.
And we have been actually very fortunate to be walking through this design and permitting phase on schedule, and we hope to keep it that way. There are always, I shouldn't say always, but there are unforeseen issues that can arise, but we are projecting that this project is going to stay on track, and we hope to have no issues moving forward, and we are going to keep on track with our schedule.
Our Community Connection show will air more of the quarterly board meeting, so make sure you tune in. When our Ballroom Dance Club gathered for a Jersey Boys theme party, our reporter, Kathy Salkowitz, got in step with President Sarah Giamonti for all the details.
I am here at the Ballroom Dance special event, the Jersey Boys. And boy, are we going to have fun tonight. Sarah, can you tell us a little bit about the Ballroom Dance Club?
Oh, there's a lot to tell. We actually meet 6 days a week. Friday night is ballroom night, okay. We start at 7. We have professional lessons from 7 to 8, and that's from Hilton Head Studio. We have an actual professional instructor that comes in for 1 hour. After that, at 8 o'clock, we have open dancing. Now, we have professional dancing through the year, most of it. We stop maybe in the summer a little bit and then in December. On top of all that, we have Monday beginners class. We have Sunday's country sig. We have Tuesday Latin. And we have, coaching on Saturday. Coaching is for those that might need a little bit of help with some techniques and steps. So you can dance 6 days a week. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot Shag on Wednesday. South Carolina, Shag on Wednesday. We don't want to forget that.
Oh, heavens no. And I think that is the official dance of South Carolina.
Absolutely.
So you're telling me, at least I'm understanding, if I don't know a cha-cha from a tango, I could join ballroom dance and learn?
Ballroom dance. We have beginners classes. We're not going to start you off with the tango, okay?
Thank you.
Cha-cha's a little bit easier. The waltzes, the rumba, a little bit easier with the steps. Yeah, absolutely. You escalate on your own. You take your time. That's what we're here for, okay? We have lots of people here that are more than willing to help.
Oh, that just sounds wonderful. Well, if I want to join this amazing club, as boy, do you have fun, how would I go about that? Where am I going to get more information?
Well, we are on the Sun City website, okay? We are in the Sun City magazine under the chartered clubs. We do have a Facebook ballroom. You can come here on Friday night, get a brochure. We have a professional pamphlet that gives you all the information. And this September in Sensations, we're going to have an article. It tells you a story about ballroom, so make sure you read that in our September issue.
Oh, that's just lovely. Sarah, thank you for letting us come in this evening. And we are looking forward to hearing the Jersey Boys and catching a little bit. These are our Sun City Jersey Boys, I understand. One more thing.
Our dances, we have 2 annual dances with live music, catered food. Okay, we have themed dances throughout the year. Halloween, St. Patrick's, Valentine's Day. This is our summer dance. It just goes on and on.
This sounds like the best fun in Sun City. Sarah, this is just great. Thanks again. We're going to catch some dancing.
Still more to come. We continue with our Did You Know segments, this time featuring the softball field. And we meet some softball players who played on the original softball field. Georgia Lash reports on the Low Country Happenings meeting. So stay with us. We'll return after this brief break.
Welcome to the 2025 Sun City Garden Tour. Artist Claude Monet said, "My garden is my most beautiful masterpiece." And all around Sun City, we have beautiful landscape masterpieces. Thanks to our Sun City Avant Gardeners Club, we feature 5 beautiful gardens for you to enjoy and be inspired by to create your own garden masterpiece.
Did you know that Sun City Hilton Head Softball started in Town Center where Magnolia Hall now sits? Let's learn a little bit more. And we're also going to hear more from softball players expanding on their thoughts on the original softball field in Town Center.
The next time you're walking between Pinckney and Magnolia Hall, you may hear the faint echo of crowds cheering for their favorite team in the distance. Did you know that 20 years ago, this would have been a familiar sound? Allow me to take you back in time to the early days of Sun City and introduce you to those who made this field of dreams come alive. Back in 1997, Nat Shapiro and Frank Giglito petitioned Del Webb to install a softball field. The initial response was not positive due to a lack of space. Undeterred, Nat visited several clubs seeking signatures and ended up with over 100 to his credit. He felt strongly that a softball club should be created for everyone, and his famous edict was, "Build it and they will come." It took Nat 6 months to get the club going, and during that time, they sought funds to help pay for field equipment. Soon afterwards, the men's softball club was chartered, and the first game was played on April 13, 1998. There were 2 teams of approximately 13 players per, or a total club membership of 26 players. The playing season was separated into spring and fall, with games being played on Tuesday and Thursday. Did you know that the original softball field was located where Magnolia Hall now stands? Del Webb provided the land and fence for the original ballpark location, but field prep equipment was purchased by the softball club funds. In later years, the field equipment shed was built to store such items. Dugouts were fabricated with club funds, and financial assistance was derived by both Del Webb and club members alike. By 2004, a new field advisory committee was established to work in concert with Pulte in the development of a new field to be located at the intersection of Red Dam and Sun City Boulevard. In 2007, the new field was opened, and both the scoreboard and shed from the old field were transferred to the new site. On June 8, 2023, the ballpark was renamed Veterans Memorial Field. Let's hear from a few of those original players.
Hi, it's Mike Corielli. I've been in Sun City since 2003. I've been playing down the old field back then when there was a smaller field down there. Club mentor said to Dominic, he said, "Dominic, why don't we have some hot dogs?" So Dominic, in his words of wisdom, he said, "Okay, you're in charge." So from there after on, he brought his own grill down to the field, bought the hot dogs and the soda, and we had beer for $1.
Hi, I'm John Hansen. I've been playing softball in Sun City since 2006. When we played at the old field, which it currently is occupied Magnolia Hall, it was a great field. We didn't have any rainouts. You just slid around in the mud around the bases. It was a lot of fun.
Hi, my name is Richie Matera. I played for 1 season on the old field in 2006 and then immediately went in for a rotator cuff surgery on my right shoulder, so that ended that.
Hello, my name is David Sauer. I hail from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I moved into Sun City in June of '04, and for some reason I walked past the softball field and there were guys practicing, and they said, like everyone else, "Do you play softball?" I said, "Never did," and that's when it started. So I started in the fall of '04, and I'm still playing. I just will turn 83 in December, and I've been relegated to the Wednesday-Friday league, but it's a lot of fun.
And that's the story behind the softball field. Now you know.
At the recent Low Country Happenings meeting, we heard about all that is happening in the town of Bluffton.
Dan, we enjoy, as Sun City TV, the town of Bluffton. You give us such great stories. We certainly have enjoyed Glenn Umberger's historic perspectives that he shared with us. We were at the opening of the new Riverside Park for the children. And I have to say, I'm glad that you've been added to our roster here.
Well, thank you.
So let's talk about, you were here today to talk about development in the town of Bluffton. What are the town's priorities?
Well, we have a lot of priorities that aren't just construction. I mean, real quick, let me just say, for those who don't know, we're about 80% built out on residential development and about 35% built out on the commercial, which we need because that keeps people from driving from one side of town to the other, which is what's been happening. But also, all of that requires infrastructure such as parks and things like that. We are big on our parks. I'm a park guy. I think we established that earlier. That brings a lot of our young families out. We want to be very inclusive. Affordability, affordable housing is very important to the town of Bluffton. We've always been beating that drum, and everybody in the county realizes the significance of it. You want your town to stay cohesive and inclusive. You don't want them living 50 miles away to mow your grass if they can live in the same communities. It makes it stronger. Other things is the historic preservation is, I think the town has done a great job of that. The Church of the Cross is on the National Register, as is the AME Church, and we preserve our buildings like the Squire Pope House, which is now our Welcome Center. And I think we just hit our 10,000th visitor in 6 months. So it's on the marsh, not on the marsh, but on the bluff. So all of these elements, childcare is another thing we realized, because childcare, you have, if you can't afford childcare, you can't work. Childcare is tied into affordability of housing, and housing and childcare both play into whether you can work, and so you have a workforce of labor. You need the labor out there. So all of these things are extremely important to our town, and we're very focused on it.
Thank you so much for sharing. And there's certainly a reference available online. We want everybody to get to your website because it provides so much information about the town of Bluffton, what's going on, the projects, how things are being impacted. So thank you so much for coming in to talk with us today.
It's been our pleasure. Thank you.
Still much more ahead on Sun City News. Randy Selman has entertainment news to report. We continue with our interview of Brock Meeks. And JoJo Hines is here with sports news. So make sure you come on back.
Welcome to Extra. We start this episode with a look back at Memorial Day moments you may have missed. We add in some softball military games too.
We move on to make this a double month for you to watch in July and August, while we take our staycation, which the dictionary defines as a vacation spent at home or nearby, or what Joanne and I will call things to do without the tourist and travel trauma. Here's some ideas we've listed for you to see.
The Sundance's summer dance lessons.
Gardening inspired by our Avant Gardeners Garden Tour, or just stay in where it's cool and watch the 2025 Garden Tour on our SCTV show in our neighborhoods.
Next, the Community Hummingbird and Butterfly Garden, where others have done all the work for us to enjoy.
And finally, day tripping with ideas from the Fishing and Hunting Club's Discover the Lowcountry Expo.
Cable viewers, please check out our program listings on the Sun City website. And most conveniently, you can always catch us on the YouTube station, where we invite you to subscribe for easy viewing.
See you in September.
Randy Selman's in the studio with entertainment news.
This week is packed with things to do for you and your family, including exciting events for any child visiting with you. One special event that you won't want to miss is a swimming performance by the very talented Synchronettes. Join them at the Purrysburg Pool on Saturday, July 5th at 10 a.m. Not only will there be kid-friendly music that they are swimming to, but you will have a chance to get pictures taken of them with the Synchronettes' very own mermaid. Adults must accompany children at all times. This is a first-come, first-serve event, and the capacity is 200. See you there. On Monday, July 8th, Low Country Libations will feature live music by Ryan Williams. There will be catered hors d'oeuvres by Downtown Catering, and bar service will be available. Tickets are $15, and they're available at Lifestyle Services or online. Tickets are limited to 4 per household. Doors open for this happy hour at 3:30 at Riverbend. There are still limited tickets available for Still Surfin', the Beach Boys tribute band, for both Monday, July 21st and Tuesday, July 22nd performances. This professional Beach Boys tribute band has been performing the music of the Beach Boys for 20 years. Just like the original Beach Boys, they can also include the songs from other great 60s surf bands like Jan and Dean, The Ventures, Dick Dale and the Safaris. No food or beverages are permitted inside Magnolia Hall. Tickets are $35 and are available online at Lifestyle Services with a limit of 4 tickets per household. Doors open at 6 p.m. in the Magnolia Hall, and the music begins at 7 p.m. Opening July 24th and running through the weekend is the Sun City summer production of The Cemetery Club. The Cemetery Club is a play about 3 Jewish widows who live in Queens, New York, who meet monthly to visit their husbands' graves and share life experiences. The play explores their individual personalities, their evolving relationships, and their interactions with a new character, Sam the Butcher, who sparks romantic interests within the group. The play highlights the conflict between the desire for new beginnings and the comfort of routine and shared grief. It explores themes of love, friendship, loss, and the challenges of moving forward after loss. Ultimately, the play explores how love and friendship endure through conflict and loss, despite the characters' strong personalities and differing desires. This is a very funny, heartwarming, and at times very emotional play. Tickets are going fast. Tickets are being sold at the Magnolia Hall box office, which is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 until 12. The play is being performed on the Pinckney Hall stage. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night shows are at 7, and the Sunday matinee is at 2:30. There will be more information about this play in the weeks to come. I'm Randy Selman, and this is your entertainment report. Remember, life is entertaining, so don't miss the show.
Last week, we reported on Sun City resident Brock Meeks and his career as a journalist and his project called Hope and Generosity Tour. This week, we continue our conversation with him on his amazing journey.
When we went through the American Heartland, it was actually that I called the Hope and Generosity Tour. It was the culmination of an idea I had kicking around in my head for at least 20 years. And the intent was to go into small towns and find ordinary people that were doing extraordinary things but never asked for anything in return. And I wanted to tell their stories to show that these small towns were still alive and that generosity was the thread that held them all together.
It's amazing. What are your fondest memories? You did this tour, you gave money to people. What are the fondest memories that you have?
That was kind of the twist on this whole thing. When I found somebody to talk to and tell their story, I'd spend time with them. And at the very end, right before I left, I handed them $1,000 in cash and told them there was no strings attached. They could do whatever they want with it. They could keep it for themselves. They could give it to somebody else in need, or they could buy a new swing set for the park in the town square.
What are the memorable moments that you had from that?
Well, certainly all the people that I met and gave money to had unique and uplifting stories. But there's a couple of experiences that both revolve around Thanksgiving Day that stand out as highlights. So the first one was I rolled into a small town of about 600 people. I went to the local grocery store and I talked to the manager there and said, I want to buy every single frozen turkey you can possibly get your hands on. They looked at me kind of curious, but they said, okay. And so I ended up spending $1,000 on frozen turkeys. I loaded them all into shopping carts, took them to the front of the store, and as people exited the checkout stand, I would give them a frozen turkey. I remember one woman came over to me and she kind of whispered, she goes, God bless you, son. Without this turkey, I'm afraid we have to be eating Thanksgiving out of a can. And I heard stories like that all through the day. The other thing that happened was on Thanksgiving Day, I went to a donations-only restaurant to eat Thanksgiving dinner. Now, in this restaurant, nobody ever gets a check. You pay as you can or not, whatever you can do. And I just thought that was amazing. So at the end of the day, I hung around and I talked to the owner for quite a long time, and I ended up giving her $1,000, which essentially paid for every single person that came in and ate a meal that day.
What did you learn about the Heartland, about the people in the Heartland? And also, what did you learn about Brock Meeks?
I learned that the Heartland is not just a bunch of flyover states like people call them, but they're hold-together states. Towns, these small towns with one cafe and 10 churches, they endure not by luck, but by leaning inward on each other when times get tough. Then I learned that hope is heavier than despair because you have to carry it uphill, and that generosity is the muscle that lifts it. Then about myself, I learned that I'm not the lone wolf journalist that I thought. I got really, really lonely. And I learned that I live off of a man that runs on borrowed wrenches, the prayers of strangers, and the simple grace of being waved at by every passing pickup.
Wow. That's amazing words, Brock. Amazing words. And you still have your 1982 Volkswagen van that you, Josie, and you traveled all over. You slept in there. You ate in there. You did everything in there in the heartland. And you used your own money, I might add, to give these people $1,000 in cash.
Right.
Now you had to end the journey because you ran out of money.
Right. I ran out of money. When I left, my wife just told me, be home by Christmas. I left in beginning of October, and she said, the only thing I want is for you to be home by Christmas. And so I traveled all around, and I ended up giving away $12,000, and I had just enough. By the time I reached Georgia, I had just enough to buy a couple of tanks of gas and some ramen noodles, and that got me home.
Oh, God. Well, you're an amazing man, Brock Meeks, and I'm proud to hear your story, and I'm proud to tell your story.
Now let's head over to JoJo Hines for some sports news.
Welcome, sports fans. This week we feature the Volleyball and Water Volleyball Club. I had the opportunity to attend their open house last Saturday and get some information about the club. Here's their treasurer, Tina Toplowski, to give us the details.
Hi, today we have our Sun City Volleyball Club open house. We're having it at the court today, although we do have volleyball at the north side pool as well. But our goal is to have our water volleyball people come today and also try to play, but get new people from Sun City to come and consider joining our volleyball club. It's a lot of fun. We have all different levels. We help those that aren't that familiar with volleyball. We help them with their skills. We're very supportive, and we just are here to have a really great time.
They play at the court on Red Dam Road and Sun City Boulevard on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, with time based on daylight hours and the heat index, of course. I also chatted with Debbie Wislaus, the vice president of the club, and she informed me about beach volleyball. They go to the Tiki Hut at Coligny Beach in the fall and spring to play. Now that sounds like fun. Now, if you don't mind getting wet while tapping the ball over the net, water volleyball might be for you. Water volleyball is played in the outdoor lake house pool on Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. during April to October. But from November until March, they are at the Perrysburg indoor pool Mondays and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Sound like something you might like to try out? You can join the club by emailing schvolleyballclub@gmail.com. They are a great group of friendly people. And like I always say, you're never too old to try a new sport. So get out there and give one a try. JoJo Hines for Sun City Sports.
That's our news this week. Thank you for watching. Catch us on cable and on our YouTube station, where we invite you to click like and subscribe. Now, to see expanded coverage of some of our SCTV stories, tune into our monthly show Extra. And if you have questions and comments, email us at suncitytvhh@gmail.com. Make sure you check in with us next week for all the news that's in your neighborhood. For Sun City News, I'm Norma Taylor.